So today I start my essential lawn care tips for 2023. Watch this year's progress as I show you all the ways I keep my lawn beautiful. Always dependent on time and the weather, but at the moment we've had lots of rain, so it's all good. So this is my first sort of work that I do on the lawn at this time of year. So please watch, enjoy, subscribe, like and comment. Thank you. I do clipboard to remind my missus to make me a tea. I don't know if that'll happen. Anyway, just put a little matey boy up here. So what we're going to do is just cover a little bit about grass to there, as I'm starting to. Now, I'm not an expert by any means of grass, but when I get time, it comes out alright. So what we're going to cover in build stuff and bites, we're going to do cutting, treatments. Look at that writing. So we do cutting lengths, treatments, what to use, and I'll quickly talk about compression. I'm gonna have to learn to write better now I've got this YouTube channel. Scarify, which should have really been done in September, but who knows, you know. Compression, scarify, cutting, treatments. I think that'll probably do for today, and overseed. Okay. Now it's overseed. Now it's April 17th today. So they're the main points we're going to cover. Thank you. Okay, we're outside in my rear garden. See, I'm cutting the grass, so it's growing quite long, slightly damp, but my mower's got a free cutting length, so I cut it really high. I actually lift it, and all we're doing today is trying to just get it down to a nice level where I can use my weed feed and moss killer and just get it controllable, because if you get too far, then you're going to be hacking it and ruining it. All you're trying to do is take the tops off. The secret of grass is to cut it regularly, every other day, once you get it a certain length. Now there's certain lengths throughout the season. At the moment we're keeping it longish. I'm on level 3. By May I might put it on level 2, depending again, weather changes so much, the seasons aren't the seasons anymore, but 2. Midsummer, boiling hot, I might even go down to a 1, but you've got to do it real carefully at that level, and you can lose the colour. That's another story. So at the moment it's April, so I'm just cutting the top off, and I'll show you in a minute how I overseed, etc. So no, cancel that. Treatment, weed feed and moss killer, and then once that's cleared in 6 weeks time, we'll run through these stages regularly. I'll then overseed. If you overseed too soon, it just dies because of the moss weed feed killer is still in the system. So let's just do a bit of cutting. As you can see, should unplug it, but I'm not touching it. So this is on the maximum height. Okay, the legs are right down. I sharpen this with an angle grinder every now and again. Okay, and you can see the length we're cutting. It's very long still. Okay, so just take the tops off, tidying it up, and then I'll show you how to do the treatment. So next step is to just cut the edges. What are these? These are lovely. Spears and Jackson. Lovely. So just taking the top off again. do. I'm changing all this grass at some point. It's horrible, but it's just getting time. I'm going to redo this, build a shed or a work garden room probably. So this first one takes me quite a while to go all the way around, so I pull all this in. But ideally, what I want is grass and a brick board at all levels, so I just cut across the top. So that's the plan. And these are beautiful Shears and Jackson. Don't buy cheap hedge trimmers, buy quality. So yeah, put it in a tub. Now the secret is, so we're about here now, okay, so what you're doing, you're shaking it like this. Okay, the secret is not to walk on that now, okay, so you're walking along like this, okay, and then you carry on walking down. So I've started there, I've walked all the way down here, I've got none on my boots, so none can be stepped in. Okay, so we move across. It's hard to film it and do it like this, but I think you get the idea. So you make, and you don't overdo it, it's just a light sprinkle. There is a spread as you can get, but what you're doing, you can use this as a guidelet, so you know now. Oh, so come along here. So I've got none on my boots, okay. And there you go, that's all done. Now what I'll do is water it in. There, right, here we go. Hope you can see all that. Let's do it like that. There you go. Right, so I use gloves, so I normally use a mask as well. If it's windy, I do. It doesn't smell nice, doesn't taste nice. So watch how I do it. Okay, oh, let's get the chop on. I'll put it in a tub, so don't use it out of this. Talking to yourself now. Okay. Okay, I'm using this. Alright, links in the description. Get it on Amazon, get it in Garden Sense, but I've left a link if you want to buy it on Amazon via my link. So, you could go in depth, but basically, put it on now in about April. Cut the grass like I've showed you. Sprinkle it on like I'll show you. The most important thing, water the thing in. If you get any of this on your boots, you burn the grass. When I've used it before, I've stood over the grass, walked it all over my patio. It's ruined the grass, burnt the grass. You've got footprints all over the grass and all over the patio. So you've got to get it right. But if you use it right, it's brilliant. But use it in April and then wait 6 weeks. Then it says to use it again. The problem is if you overseed, like you should do in May, June, well, you shouldn't. You can do any overseeding. You can do it in February, but there's all ideal times, and I'll post a lawn calendar on. But because the seasons have changed so much and we're getting warm weather in the winter and cold weather in the summer and different rains, this year's been brilliant at the moment because we've had lovely rain. last year we was in a drought, so there's no set thing anymore. But over the years I've done grass, I normally cut it now, first cut, long cut, overseed it, use this one application. It says to use it again 6 weeks later. Now if you use it again, you can't overseed, so I don't use it then. I use it now. I wait 6 weeks before I overseed. Okay, I scarify like we've talked on here. I cut the grass. I'm using this treatment now. That'll feed it, weed it, moss kill it, and I'll get that out. Then the grass will be a bit patchy, but you've killed off all the weeds and everything. Then when you overseed in 6 weeks time, you get beautiful grass. Okay, that's the secret. I try and keep it as basic as I can. Scarify it, you can do early season, but you should do in September, October, because the side shoots of the grass, again, don't want to go into too much depth. If you're going to scarify it, do it in October, September, October, but you can do it any time of the year, but it affects the grass. Hello. Overseeding, we're going to talk about that. I'll do it in 6 weeks time, because if you do it any time before that, you're wasting your time. The lawn, it'll hardly come through, because it doesn't work on new lawns. You need 6 weeks now for that to do its magic, sort the old grass out before you can add the lawn seed. So then we'll overseed. Compression, which is forking it. You can do that any time of the year. If you're going to do it now, but ideally you do compression, which is forking it. There's a name for it, but I've forgotten. It'll come to me. Scarify and the other one. And so you normally do that in October, September, October, even November these days, because we don't really get the frost. Grass is growing all year round. So, okay, I hope that sort of makes sense, but watch and learn as I'm learning. So, right, so this is what we're going to use, and I'll film that now. Okay, so be now careful not to stand on the grass at this moment, or you're in big trouble. Now we're going to hose it in. Now you put it on quite a bit of a jet, because you want to just get that granules dissolving, so that by tomorrow when my missus walks the cat on the grass, she's not going to stand it all. And if you don't water in thoroughly, or ideally we need a big pour of rain now, a big pour down of rain, hailstones, maybe snow, but you want to jet it in. I'll show you now, and then by tomorrow you can walk on it and it will start to do its magic overnight. Okay, so don't do it when the grass is soaking. The grass needs to be, you can have it slightly damp even when you're cutting it, as long as you're not cutting it too, you're just taking the top off. So let me demonstrate this. This is my method I've perfected over many years of messing up Big Star. But the granular stuff is good, but you just got to know what you're doing. If you imagine I had it on my boots now, it'd be everywhere. So, see that? You want it like that. Okay, see that? You want it like that. So that's where I started. So now I'm watering all that in, look. Okay, now you've got to make sure you don't get it on too near plants. People overdo it, they put too much on. Better to put less on. So if it's near patios or anything precious like a nice patio, just don't get it too close to the edge. Just take your time. More is not better, less is more. I think that's the saying. Okay, so that's the sort of jet. I might even jet it a bit more in a minute. So like that. And that now is, because if I didn't walk this in tomorrow, it won't dissolve. It might a bit, but it takes days, and then it gets stood on because people, kids, dogs, step it all in. I'm doing this now. People think you're mad. I'm not watering the grass. I'm watering this granular fertiliser in, washing it off all the bits. Look, so that's the secret. So I'm going to carry on doing this, and then I'm going in for my tea. Thanks for watching. I'll edit this later. Oh yeah, by the way, the most important point, you're watering it now, but do not stand on the grass. However your grass is laid out, plan it so that you ain't stepping on it now, because you need about 12 hours for this to start to dissolve. Otherwise you'll get bits of it on your boot and it will go everywhere. So as you can see, I'm still where I was a minute ago, but I'm not standing on my grass. I won't stand on it till tomorrow. That's why I do it in the evening when the missus is in bed, the cat's in bed, the dog's in bed. You might get the odd stray cat walk on it. My neighbours think I'm mad now talking to myself, but you know, the chances are within a couple of hours it's relatively safe. But if you stood on it now, you're still in for big trouble. This is where people get it all wrong, and I've done it myself loads of times, and I've seen it driving around. I say, God, look, they've messed up. So if you just follow these steps, you'll be laughing. You know, thank you. I've added links to the description of the stuff I've used in this, but you can get there most garden centres, but if you need to, it's on Amazon. Hope you like my video. Please like, subscribe and comment, and I'll be posting regular updates on my grass lawn care as this season goes on. Thank you.